Hey, welcome to Think Thursday from the Alcohol Minimalist Podcast. Think Thursday is all about your beautiful, brilliant human brain. We're talking neuroscience. We're talking behavior change. We are talking about your mindset. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Hey there, welcome back to Think Thursday from the Alcohol Minimalist. You know, this is the part of the week where we slow down, take a beat, and talk about that beautiful, brilliant human brain of yours. And today I want to talk to you about luck. Not luck in the way we usually talk about it, where we look at someone else's life and say, well, they were just lucky. Or we look at our own life and think, I never seem to have any luck or get the breaks other people get. I want to talk to you about luck through the lens of Jim Collins, who wrote a book that I just recently started reading called What to Make of a Life. And I appreciate Jim Collins' work here in a way that's very big, and because he asks a very human question. What do we make of our lives? And he studies it by actually looking at real lives, not theories, not slogans, not neat little formulas, but lives. People who hit turning points, people who came to what he calls cliffs, which are those big drop-off points, right? People had to move through another thing he calls fog, and that's what happens after we hit a cliff. And people who discovered a fire inside them and then had to decide how much of their life they were willing to organize around it. He calls those hedgehogs. And one of the ideas that shows up in Collins' work is the question of luck, because luck is real. There are things in your life that you did not cause. There are moments that arrive with consequences that you could not have predicted. And there are people you meet, doors that open, doors that close, illnesses, losses, opportunities, timing, culture, family, money, support, surprises. Some of that is absolutely not about your character. It is not about your effort. It's really just the roulette wheel of life, right? But the deeper question is not only did I get lucky or did I get unlucky? The deeper question is, what return am I creating on the luck that I've been given? That phrase, return on luck, is such a powerful shift because it brings us back to agency. Not control over every circumstance, because we do not have that. Not control over every outcome, because we do not have that either. But agency in how we notice, interpret, respond, adapt, and how we move forward. And this is where behavior change lives, because luck is the event. Your luck response is the pathway. And your brain, of course, has a lot to say about this. Your brain is a meaning-making machine, and it does not simply observe what happens. It immediately starts interpreting it. Something good happens and your brain may say, finally, things are working out. Something hard happens and your brain says, see, this always happens to me. Someone else succeeds and your brain may say, must be nice, they got lucky. And maybe you hit a setback and your brain says, this is proof that I'm not meant for this. None of those interpretations just sit there quietly. They create feelings. They shape your next action. They influence whether you keep going, whether you pull back, whether you get curious, get resentful, take ownership, or give up. That is why your luck response matters so much, because a luck event does not automatically become a life change. It becomes meaningful through attention, through interpretation, and action. Collins talks about different kinds of luck, and I want to share with you what those three are, and today as we think about them and as they might apply to our own lives. The first is what he calls what luck. What luck. This is when something happens outside of your plan, okay? A job disappears, a job appears. A diagnosis changes the calendar. A conversation changes your direction. Maybe it's an invitation arrives that you get before you feel really ready. A door opens that you didn't even know was there. Or a door closes that you were still trying to force open. What luck is the event itself. Okay, so that's WHAT luck. What luck is the event itself. And sometimes it feels good right away. Sometimes it feels terrible right away. And sometimes you just don't know what it is yet. That last part matters because one of the things our brains love to do is label too early. We say this is good luck because it feels exciting right now, or we say this is bad luck because it feels painful right now. But real life isn't always that clean. Some things that first feel like bad luck become turning points, and some things that look like good luck never become much of anything because we don't recognize them, we don't prepare for them, or we don't act on them. And this is where Jim Collins' idea of cliffs is useful. A cliffs, like I said, is one of those moments, those drop-off moments. Really, it's when life changes shape. It might be the end of a role, the end of a career, the loss of a person, the arrival of illness. There was life before this, and now there is life after this. And when we are standing at one of those cliffs, the brain usually wants certainty before movement. It wants the map. It wants the guarantee. It wants to know who we are now before we have had any time to become that new person. But life rarely gives us the kind of clarity that we want up front. More often, we have to move through what he talks about, fog. We have to take the next step before the full path is visible. We have to let one identity loosen before the next one has become fully formed. And that is where return on luck becomes a practice, not a platitude, but a practice. Because we do not get to choose every cliff, but we do have some say in how we meet it. And I want to be very clear here. This is not about pretending hard things are secretly wonderful. Bad luck is real. Loss is real. Unfairness is real. Circumstances can be very painful, disruptive, and deeply undeserved. Return on luck does not mean we slap a motivational quote over something hard and call it growth. It means we honor the reality of what happened, and then, when we are able to, we ask, how do I want to meet this? That question is powerful. How do I want to meet this? Not because I can control every circumstance, but because I am not powerless inside in everything either. The second kind of luck is who luck. So we've got what luck, who luck. And this is the luck of people. And I think this one may be the most beautiful ways to think about luck in a life, because when you look back, so many turning points are connected to people. The teacher who saw something in you, the friend who told you the truth, the coach who challenged you, the partner who helped you become more honest with yourself. Even the difficult person who forced you to grow in a way that you would not have chosen voluntarily. Who luck matters because humans are not designed to change in isolation. Our brains are shaped by relationships, by modeling, by encouragement, accountability. Sometimes one person entering your life changes the emotional weather around a goal. They make it feel less impossible. They help you borrow belief until you build some of your own. And they introduce you, like I do, hopefully, to new ideas, new standards, and new versions of yourself. But again, the person arriving is only part of the story. What you do with that relationship is return on luck. Did you stay open? Did you ask better questions? Did you receive feedback? Did you let yourself be influenced by people who are living closer to what you say than to what you say you want? Maybe the more generous question is this: are you becoming the kind of person who is good luck for someone else? I love that question because when we talk about luck, we usually imagine ourselves as the recipient. But part of a meaningful life may be becoming a source of good luck in other people's lives. Maybe you are going to be extend a thoughtful introduction for someone, give someone generous encouragement, have an honest conversation, be a steady example. Those things may seem small to you, but for someone else, they may become their who luck. And the third kind of luck is zeit luck or timing luck. So we've got what luck, who luck, and zeit luck. That's like zeitgeist, Zeit, zeit luck. This is when your life intersects with the moment you are living in. Your interests, your abilities, your experiences, your desires meet the needs and the possibilities of the time. A skill you have been developing suddenly matters more because culture changes. A story you carry becomes more powerful because people are ready to hear it. Something you learned privately becomes more useful publicly. And timing luck is interesting because we can romanticize it. We can say, well, they just had perfect timing. But timing only matters if you are ready to respond. Zeit luck is not something you completely manufacture, but it is also not something you passively wait for. When timing luck appears, your response matters. Did you move toward it? Did you trust the nudge? Did you commit energy? Did you let yourself be seen? Or do you talk yourself out of it because it does not look like the plan you originally imagined? And this is where the brain gets really interesting because even good luck can feel threatening, right? A new opportunity can feel threatening because it asks you to grow. So your brain may try to protect you from the very thing you say you want. It may offer you thoughts like, not yet, who am I? What if this doesn't work? What will people think? And this is why return on luck is so connected to behavior change. Because luck is not about just what happens to you. It's about whether your nervous system, your mindset, and your habits allow you to respond. If you believe opportunities do not happen for you, your brain may undernotice the small openings that are already present. If you believe setbacks are proof that something is wrong with you, then your nervous system may move into protection instead of problem solving. And if you believe success only counts when it happens smoothly, then difficulty may feel like disqualification instead of just part of the process. When you practice return on luck, you train your brain to ask better questions. Instead of, why did this happen to me? You can ask, what is this asking of me? Instead of, does this mean I'm lucky or unlucky? Ask, what response would create the best return? Instead of saying, is this fair? Ask, what's still available to me here? Again, this is not about bypassing pain. It is not about pretending everything happens for a reason. It's not about turning every hard thing into a lesson before you have had a chance to grieve, to feel, to process, to recover. It is about knowing that your first interpretation does not have to be your final one. Your brain may tell the first story very quickly, but you are allowed to revise it. You are allowed to say, this is not what I wanted, and I can still choose who I want to be in the response. You are allowed to say, I did not cause this, and my next step still matters. You're allowed to think, this opportunity came through luck, and I can honor it by showing up. The combination of humility and agency is actually incredibly useful. Humility says, I did not create everything good in my life by myself. People helped, timing helped, circumstances helped, chance helped. And agency says, and now that this is here, my response belongs to me. Humility keeps us grateful, and agency keeps us moving. Behavior change needs both. So, I want to leave you with 3 questions. First, what luck am I labeling too quickly? Is there something you've already decided is bad luck when the story may still be unfinished? I want you to think about that. Leave room for curiosity. Second, who is part of my luck right now? Who is helping you grow? Who is expanding your thinking? Who is modeling something you want to move forward to? And whose life might you be entering as a form of good luck? And lastly, what would a high return on luck look like? Not a perfect return, not a dramatic return, just a higher return than your default action. If the luck is good, maybe a high return means acting quickly, saying yes, staying disciplined, and not letting the opportunity get squandered. If the luck is hard, maybe a high return means asking for help sooner, making a new plan, refusing to turn one setback into an identity. Because return on luck is not a personality trait, it is a practice. It is the practice of noticing, pausing, and choosing your interpretation with a little more intention. Life may spin the wheel, right? It may open a door, close a door, reroute the path, bring you to a cliff. But the response, this is where your life starts to become yours. And that is what I want you to think about this week. Make it a great one, everybody. Choose peace. I will see you on Monday.